Well, well, well. If it isn't a stream. Hi. You guys been having thunderstorms? That's strange, it's been alright today. I had them over the weekend, but... there's no well in this stream. W-A-L-L spells well in my book. What book's that? Spalling for Begooners. How many times do I reference that joke? It's whenever I see the word well. How are we all doing? Hi, apart from Thundery. And Goopy. And Kinky? Just trying to make reference to things that have already been said in chat. We alright? We're doing good? It is Tuesday today, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Marvelous. Yeah. We're back. In the symbols that are 16 of them. And all of them have been seen now. Let's turn my microphone up just a tad. Doing good. Enjoyed the video game made, a good video made by Parsnip today. Not video game. One day. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But isn't that Parsnip that makes the bro YouTube? I'm glad people are enjoying it because it was just like, yeah, it was an idea. I've been talking about Avonvale for bloody ages, and I was like, oh, I want to make an Avonvale thing. We're working on this silly little game, and it would be nice if I had different tour guides. Let's make a thing. For those of you who don't know, I released a video to Patreon approximately an hour ago about a fantasy thing that I'm doing. Tomorrow, for non-patrons, I will be releasing the second part of the Honcho video. So you have something to look forward to as well. Yay! Time to deal with the problems of our past selves left for us. Yes, we've got a character that's joining. I don't know who yet. Card game? Cardy sort of game. It involves cards. It also involves a lot of counting, which I'm trying to work out how to avoid. But hey, it's low digit counting. It's nothing too complicated, but it's just tedious. Salterilla's yours now. That's fair. If there's one thing I've learned is I can never quite predict which characters Chibi will latch on to, but I'm glad they continue to. It was rather good. I'm glad. Cardigan game. Yes, it's all about knitting. I'm sure there is a game about knitting. I mean, there's Calico, which is all about making a quilt. They're unpredictable like that, which is a good trait to have. Unpredictability in a pleasant way, at least. Unpredictable but not erratic, you know? Okay, we need to face up to our past failings and work out what's going on. Because last time we arrived at a village somewhere. Oh, we fought a snake, forgot about that. That happened. Snake part 2. We then arrived at a village that had a suspiciously familiar looking factory next to it, albeit slightly bigger than last time. We broke in, and then we found this mess of a human. Rock throwing fact? What? What? Who? Rock throwing? Rock? Who? Yeah, they're on rollerblades. Don't worry about it. They invented them. He invented them himself, because, you know, they don't exist in this world, and he had lots of spare cogs. Which were meticulously filed down into wheels. Yeah. Yeah, and basically this person's been, I guess, trapped or left or something inside this factory. And has basically entertained himself by making goo fight each other. And now we've arrived. And he can entertain himself by making us fight goo. Which we have done in a boss rush. Fighting lots of goo monsters. We push them over onto grass, they'll be defeated. There is no grass. This is the factory. Everything is hard surfaces. It's terrible. That was a wristwatch. Was there a wristwatch? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Someone said there was a pocket watch attached, and I took that literally. Yeah. No, back. Oh, hello. Things. Christy has done homework. Ooh. Look. At the goop. There's mucho goopsness. That one is a bum in a bucket. And then oops, it's Tito. Goop people. Burrito goop. Shoop. Or boop, if you prefer. Christy made enough homework for the whole class. Yeah, it's great. I think we said something along the lines of like there are a bunch of different goo monsters and it's randomly chosen which ones you fight as in the boss rush. So many goops to be foughted. There is good goops and bad goops. Didn't get to fill the page, but I mean, you did a lot. Like, yeah, but 2 bucket butts. Yes, one of them's attached to something. Is it the goggles? Does this butt have goggles on? It's a flying butt. A flying buttress. Yeah, marvelous stuff. Cracking work. There you go. There's a pun. Hi Oobs, how you doing? One that looks like a Kadama goop. Kadama now. Well, you recall it was a robo friend we were saving from the goop? I can't remember. We were saving somebody from being encased in goop. That was the thing that was happening. Either that or Schrodinger somehow joins. We need someone to join out of this mess. So we fight the boss rush. This is a boss rush of goo things that are happening. Whatever. Coliseum of goop. I think I called the VOD Goopaseum. It's a goobs. Goopy one, goopy. Your vote was for a Robo Party member? Oh yeah, because we don't actually have a Robo. We've got, yeah. I keep thinking Gabe's in the party and he's not. Yeah. Good villains. It confuses the narrative. Okay, so presumably then we're going to have to fight goo-covered robot. Why is Miss shouting at you? I think it's because I said either we get someone by saving them from the goo or Schrodinger joins the party. And I think Miss reacted appropriately to that suggestion. Although I do like this idea that we are all actually in a room and Miss just did not notice that you'd gone and just shouting into the void. Jebby, stop it! Okay, so what does this robot look like? Because we have drawn 2 robots up to this point. We did Steamsworth, who looks surprisingly similar to the robot in the new video I just done. And Gabe. Just didn't notice that Chibi had partially exploded a few weeks ago, so it's very possible. It's fine. Maybe the robo is floating in the goop and we save them by defeating the goop. Yeah, that's the theory, is that the goop is sort of corrupting. Hence this one that does have like hands in it. I don't know how many people are in this pile of goop, but they're in there. And it's corrupting machinery, as we can see. There's bits and bobs of machinery happening here. You can't really see my cursor, can you? What's happening here? Satira. May you propose small Robert? Duck Schrodinger on your arm alongside Saltarella. Tiny Robert. Tiny Robert in big goop. I'm fine with that. Ooh. Yeah. Look at that. Fancy setup. Also, look at that fancy, what's the name? thingy. Oh, come on, Fee! That's the one, yes. It's Fee. Oh, I know this one. Evidently I don't. But yeah, that's not entirely dissimilar to my setup, apart from it's 2 screens from the same computer, but one of those screens is a drawing tablet. Yeah, the clutter going on the other screen at the moment is quite something. 5 windows open. There's chat, there's Discord and Adrian von Ziegler. There is the text document which controls the overlay on the stream. There's the stream, and there's the bot. And they're all there. Meanwhile, on this screen, drawers. Something to be drawn. Okay, so we want big old final goop boss monster. And inside a robot. So why don't we design the small robot first? And from that we can sort of extrapolate into the big goo monster. Might be fun if the goo monster gets smaller and smaller as the fight goes on or something like that. Maybe it's worth thinking about what the robot was for? And why they would join? We're inventing a character on the fly here. You're thinking small robot to mirror the dysfunctional goons group having wick. Oh, we're having a wick robot. Oh no. We have Jaboa as a small character. I guess. Who still doesn't have a name, which I like. He wasn't here for 5 months. It's fine. I was here and I don't know what's going on. Don't know who anyone is. Okay, top left to top right, we have Mo and Flo, Nurse and Frog. Here we have Jethro, Acrobatic Scarecrow. We have Peridot and Buffy, Fighting Monk and Buffalo. We have Brad and Loaf, Baker and Baker's Apprentice. We have Gil, the Mushroom. We have Stoker and Colin, a Stoker and a lump of coal, which is not sentient. Not yet, anyway. There's Fu, who is a person with 4 arms. And there's a Jaboa, who is as yet unnamed, but is here to protect their family, who recently got attacked by a seahorse kaiju. Also, Fu is a member of the Underground Resistance. Quite a high-ranking member, I think. I don't think he's the head, but he's there. There's a person with 4 arms, yes. I mean, that too. As opposed to, well, I used to know somebody with hind arms. It's kind of like a centaur, but the other way around and very confusing. You ever seen Ludwig? Right, so, what are we doing? Little Robert. Shapes. What shapes can we... What's going on there? What shapes can we have for a little Robert? I mean, the obvious is sort of like this. Little Robert. But what else could we do? Again, what's the purpose of the Robert? Presumably it's in the factory for a reason, so maybe it's part of the factory. Tiny little treadmills? Well, like as feet. Little tracks. Treadmill legs. A fixing Robert, an inventing Robert, an opposite of Wick Robert, made of scrap, constantly fixing itself. Well, in that case, you've got to have the old classic cute robot thing of the irregularly shaped eyes. Robert could have been in charge of the facility machinery before, possibly. But then it got dismantled for scrap and now it's rebuilding itself. Oh, there goes Dark, posting good art in 16 symbols chat. Like the one wheel is so cute. I can imagine it's just constantly falling on its face. Cute though. Do you like the idea of a maintenance machine? Yeah. Which joins us because we always need maintenance. I don't know. Maybe they can fix the train. It also has no arms. That's difficult for a maintenance machine. That it has no arms. I'm trying to think of like. Trying to think how. Like, I kind of want it to be sort of slightly higgledy-piggledy, like it's made out of a pipe or something. Silly. How do you design a robot? I don't know. Particularly in a world that you didn't expect to have robots in it. Chibi's on a collection spree. The robot made of pipe is silly? Yes. But you designed a lovable character made of rope. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a rope, friend. You a bad person? Oh. You are a bad person. Sorry, I read that as a question for some reason. Am I a bad person to ask about robots? I don't know. You're a bad person to ask about robots. You don't know how they work. Me neither. But together, we will struggle through this and come up with something mediocre. Your arms are too small for all these men. The idea is like, I'm gonna grab all these under my arms, and it just cuts to you just sort of like gripping onto their necks, floating above the ground. As they're all sort of squashed together. I'm trying to think of like kind of like found bits, like a barrel or like a keg or something that we could sort of. What does a keg look like? Robots don't have to be made entirely of metal, do they? Gregory is uncomfortable in this mass of men. His head is being squished. Thought up a whole explanation for the field guide, but don't think you ever wrote it up. Great. I'm gonna find Chibi getting super buff just to carry all the men. Would not put it past them. Just lifting weights. I'm gonna get all these men under my arms. They're mine now. I like the idea of a barrel. Yeah. Quick reference. Nah, I don't like that. Good men for your ever-expanding collection of fancy boys. Yeah, what if it's also made of borrowed items found around the factory? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If it's something that's like a repair robot, it's like constantly trying to fix itself as well. But I'm trying to work out how to make that go. He's a magnetized top hat because you have to look good for work, and a toolbox as big as him. So he's just got like a big old... What if big lamp for a head? Oh, that kind of works. Lantern. Trying to work out how. Slow start this stream. If he gets embarrassed, it lights up red. I'm more thinking of one of those headlamps people wear. But it's just his face now. What are you going to throw a shoe at me for? I don't know. What? It's spring. Shoes. Song's in your head and nobody said anything, but it's still in your head. In your head. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
This little light of mine.
Oh no. There it is. I like the idea of lamphead. Not sure about this design. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not feeling that. What? How about simplicity? Done. If you disappear, it's because Thor is throwing a fit over your house. Yeah, we had that the other day. And just imagining a movie where the character is set up like a femme fatale kind of deal, and then nope, just steals men for the aesthetic. Maybe they are just made of lamp. They are here with Spana hand. I was going to say that I'm pretty sure there was an episode of The Simpsons where someone, I think it must have been a Treehouse of Horror or something like that, where someone was like collecting famous fictional characters and then keeping them in plastic bags. And I'm like, yeah. Friends like a borrower, a big kleptomaniac energy. Yeah, we don't really have a thief, do we, in our party? We don't really have someone who can steal. I guess it's a little late to be introducing that now, but hey, when you're a robot in a dilapidated building, you got to survive somehow. There's something here. I'm not quite buying it just yet. They're just not a giver back. Borrower, not thief, borrower. This comic book guy may have been a Halloween episode. It feels Halloween-y, doesn't it? Honestly thought Stoker was quite pickpockety. Really? Can't imagine where they learned that skill. Hey, hero! Yeah, I was thinking there's a sort of connection there with Mo and the backpack. It's like Mo can have a kindred spirit. This one's literally riveted on. And Mo's like, oh, I know the feeling, buddy. Also riveted onto the lid, which seems irresponsible. Backpack or old lunch pail that they found. Yes, exactly. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good time last the Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday? Can't remember. Either way, I hope it went good. Can I have a normal hand and they just scroll on tool attachments from the toolbox? I feel like it's like a modifier thing. My original idea was that they've actually just got lots of arms and they just bring out the arm that they need. Because like the idea of sort of little hole in there. I think this is a design to be starting with. So let's have a crack. And then we need to design the boss version. Need a little flying friend who gets the bits from the box. No, they just reach their arms around. They're very good. What do those old carry lanterns look like? Ones that used to have in like the Second World War and stuff. Well, I can't find a picture, so we'll stick with what we got. Now drawing the femme fatale who steals men as collectibles. Oh, Oob's chibi noir story. I'm up for that. What's their name? Don't know. Yep, that's what cogs look like. It's fine. Why do all the projects you collab on have something to do with murder mystery? I mean, I don't know. I'm not qualified enough in criminal psychology to be able to ascertain the root cause of this. But you know, Oobs has watched a lot of Hannibal. Ask them. This character is getting simplified if we ever draw them again. This could be an optional character. You have to do something specific in the fight to make sure you don't kill them or something. Maybe like, sort of as you're fighting and the goop sort of starts to disperse, the robot sort of comes out more and more, and then the last stage is just the robot without the goop, and you have to realize you need to stop fighting because it's not fighting back anymore. And if you do that, you get a new party member. With collab, you mean we talk about a thing for 5 minutes, call it a project, and then never address it again. At some point, murder mystery card game, or whatever it was, involving cats, will be a thing. Gonna draw a sketch of this, and the odds of you forgetting to finish it tomorrow is 1 to 1. Oh dear. I would never forget such a thing. The very concept of saying that you'll do an art thing and then just forgetting about it. News to me. Anyway, what's it been, 2 months since last October? We'd love to draw some assets for a forever project, means no pressure. Yeah. That's what Avonvale is. Yay! No pressure, only draw the things you want to. There was a couple of other things that I thought would go well in the video, and I'm like, I don't want to draw that, so I won't! Haha! Very liberating. Sorry for the people who aren't patrons. Me constantly talking about a patron video. Tomorrow you'll get a new video. I was going to do it today, but I forgot. I haven't got all of the time lapses and things sorted for it yet. Yeah, I want to tell little stories in Avonvale. Little things about like people doing jobs and just whimsical little life fantasy stories rather than big epic tales of fighting dragons and all that crap. It's never been a huge interest of mine. Does that mean you're never getting Beach Pod Bad Rock? Eventually, yes. I'm sorry I haven't replied to your message. I will get back to that. I was just trying to get this video done before the end of the month so that I can do a Patreon update, because I don't like doing a Patreon update when I haven't done anything particularly important, because I feel bad. So I'm like, video, fantastic. Get that done. Then I can do a Patreon update, and it'll be great. Well, let's screw that perspective up. Go Beach Pod Badrook from Chris wants to get pin-up buff wrapped from Remnant for you. When was this mentioned? This thing you once said you'd do. Well, there we go. You've looked at so many unclothed dwarves in research for that. Yes, research, he says. Research. Your Honor. In the arms behind the head, really showing off those guns and stomach muscles pose. Yeah, research. This bulb is long since blown out. But yes, I imagine this little friend has like 5 arms. And they can come out of any side. There's a point where they're like sort of full on General Grievous and bring them all out and flail them around. And gosh howdy, do they make a lot of noise when they move. I don't know what's going on with this hand. This hand's just a big old flipper. Sometimes you just need a flipper. Well, there's a character. I'm happy to call them Onion. Another symmetrical one as well. No, it's not symmetrical. The eyes are different, aren't they? Flipping is important. It is. Speaking of which. Oh god, it just looks awful. You have to familiarize yourself with the autonomy, Dark. What do you expect to do? Anatomy? That's the one. Never thought you'd have either of those things in your search history, but there you go. When you any cursory relation to art, and your search history is ruined forever. I think Miss likes onion. Why is Miss shouting again? Miss suggested the name Onion. And I like the name Onion. Okay, so here's our unconventional thief, Onion, and now we need to design the boss that they come from. Ah, you like the best. Ah, you like the devil emote. Yeah. The Miss Forgot was coming to Twitch. I added it last time, but I think you had to refresh to see it. So they usually load in like 5 minutes or so. Okay, so this is Onion, but before that, we have. I guess it's appropriate if this starts as a boss that's got a lot of goo on it, but slowly but surely you strip away the goo in, you know, layers. I guess it's appropriate that you get a character called Onion. Refreshing his effort. It is, particularly when you have it on a pop-out window that doesn't have a refresh button. You know, turns out Control R seems reasonable. R for reasonable. Okay, so maybe we're gonna have something that sort of vaguely follows the form and sort of utilizes all the arms, maybe? Oops, all goop. Oops, all arm. Oops, all onion. I like the idea that it's sort of like split apart in the goop. It's like sort of like a big old. Big old mouth, but inside you can sort of see there's the lamp. And it's sort of shining light from inside the mouth. And it does have all the arms at its disposal. Look at that little light of his. There's one thing that's gonna let it do. That's probably shine. I'm only guessing, don't want to put words into his mouth. The villain took more of a Victorian turn than you intended. Ooh, fancy. We're sure about this character. Look, who was it who suggested Lamphead? I think it was Chibi. I think it was Chibi, yeah. Sweats. So it's fine. If it was anyone else, we would have to complain. But it's Chibi and it's like, eh. How's this gonna work? To be fair, Miss was the first to make the connection, yeah. We didn't even understand what Miss was saying at that point. Blissful moment of unawareness. Too busy tucking men under your arms. That still sounds like it should be wrong, but it's like, I can't work out how it would be. It's just something in the back of my mind's going, this is weird. Don't question it and don't question how you do it either. I mean, I already did that. You cannot tell me not to question things, for I have probably already done it before you asked. For I am Twirl's Cape. The pedant! It's because men usually aren't items that you tuck under your arms, usually. Usually. Which make Chris draw a lot of men. If there's one thing the Dark has learned from Patreon Doodles is that the more people you ask me to draw, the more they look like scribbly messes. And this is why I can spend exactly the same amount of time on a scene of a bunch of bodies in a corridor and a scene of 2 people on a beach, and one of them looks significantly more finished than the other. Is Cheeb? Is that Cheeb? Now that's clearly over the arm. You've misinterpreted the situation. Yeah, I like the idea that over the course of the fight, these sort of disparate parts start to come together, and eventually you're just fighting a slightly goopy little robot. And if you're lucky, you'll realize that it's not fighting back. That was always my favorite thing in Off, if anyone's ever played that game. The game sort of gets weirder and weirder and stranger, and at some point you come across somebody in a tunnel and they're just all... something's happening to them, you don't know what it is, and you get into a fight, and you're like, right, this is fight time. And if you're paying attention, you'll realize that the enemy isn't actually hurting you, all it's doing is shouting the word help. And the game also doesn't let you run away from that fight, so you have to fight it. And it's like, I don't like this anymore. Games making you do things is a very interesting way to make you feel things. Or destroy you. It's something. That game is something. For a very scribbly looking RPG Maker game, it does things. Like I you know, I'm not entirely what actually messed you up, yeah. I'm never particularly complimentary about my art, but I will say that in terms of basic readability and quality, the stuff I draw for 16 symbols is better than the art in Off. But that's kind of the point. And yeah, it's sort of childish doodliness is, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. If it was any cleaner, it wouldn't work as well. It's strange. It has to sort of be like that in order to have the effect it needs to. Maybe to put your man in a man bag when riding the train. Are you carrying your man bag? Cut to black and white PSA clip. Are you carrying your man bag? What else is there? There's... maybe it's sort of wielding one of the tracks like a sort of chainsaw. It's basically the same technology, isn't it? Oh, that was another thing I used to do. I forgot about that. I'm remembering so many projects that I used to do and then stopped. Used to do surreal PSAs with black and white footage, where I take a bunch of old black and white footage and make a public service announcement from the Ministry of Reality about some sort of weird psycho weapon in a surrealist war. What about those? It's like when you see a toddler's drawing, you're already calling an exorcist. You have the most interesting mind. Yeah, I like coming up with strange stuff like that. It's fun. I think the only one I properly finished was it Nega Mail, which was the idea of fake post boxes that would steal the words that you use in letters you send as a way of sort of gathering information for the enemy, but also making it so that you can't repeat what information has been stolen. I was gonna make one about like, I probably shouldn't say that because Miss would hate me. But let's just say the word Dreamcatcher. You could probably get the idea from those two pieces of information. I think it was an extension of an old bunch of short stories that I used to do called Savage Letters, which is a sort of cross between SCP and Sherlock Holmes, I guess. They were never any good, but the idea was there. Weck. Yeah, I used to do a lot of stuff before I got into drawing. And then I got into drawing, and it takes bloody ages. Now you want an SCP and Sherlock Holmes crossover? I mean, the Savage Letters is... I was going to reboot it, because I actually had a plan, rather than the original, which was just done story by story. That was one of the first times I tried to do illustrations for things. Was for that. Trying to draw the characters in that. There's comics would do good with Oh No comics, yeah. Now you still do a lot of stuff, you just draw it. I used to be a lot more prolific. Then again, I used to have a lot lower quality, so it's a trade-off. You know, when you're younger, you don't mind the lack of quality quite so much. And then as you get older, you're like, no, this needs to be better. And then you get 1/10 of the stuff done. And it's like, I only have myself to blame. Might be worth having like the two like eye cogs sort of floating around somewhere, trying to make it so that they don't look like nipples. And they, like I say, they get closer and closer as the fight goes on, and it starts to look more and more like an actual Robert. Closer to, hashtag closer to onion. I don't know why I said hashtag. Any self-contained phrase that sounds funny is a hashtag. Or the one where they draw people's secret nightmares. My standards are too high. Always. Okay, well this is the boss, I guess. We can cheat, can't we? That'll be there, right? Cool. I probably should have done that on a different layer. Whoops. Oh, the lag. The lag is wonderful. Speaking of too high standards, why am I shading something when we should probably be getting on with the story? Actually, do you know what we should do? Now that we've basically resolved this area, we should work out what's going on with the next place while I finish up this drawing, because it's a long place. So the idea of this boss, I like the idea too. Alas, do not have time to fully flesh it out. Ooh. Ooh. She's a man stealer. Sticks you under her arm. And then everything broke. Why did that happen? Every single one of my windows closed. Thanks, Windows. You're a treasure. Oh, now that's breaking. Ah! I'm trying to do a goof. One singular goof. Am I not allowed one singular goof? Oh dear. Right. I think we're back. Announcement, as per usual. Oobs' art is amazing. Correctamundo. Onion takes great offense if you ever say the words "pull yourself together." It's just insensitive. It's like saying that to October. Who'd have thought it? A higgledy-piggledy made of bits and pieces character with asymmetrical eyes. They might be similar. That place is going to take 3 streams. Probably. It depends what happens. It was so good it destroyed the stream. Yeah. Okay, so let's reveal. Okay, so it's a friendly place. We're going to a friendly place, apparently. And a lot's going to happen. Remember all the things that we want to resolve by the end of the game, hopefully, fingers crossed. Friendly place, the first symbol is going to be character death. We'll see. On average, I remember on average in the tests that I did, I made like 50 of these to try and find ones that didn't look absolutely awful. And I remember in the tests of these, there were 1 or 2 death symbols. So maybe there's 2, maybe that was the only one, I don't know. But we'll find out. Okay, so this one, friendly place, boss rush. What do we got? Boom. MacGuffin use. Okay, what MacGuffins do we have? We have the toaster. Do we finally use the toaster? The map? What did we get here? What was that? Oh, the Rosetta Stone. Maybe we translate something. Yeah, maybe we use the translation that we got. That's an idea. I guess we should see the consequence of the MacGuffin use so that we know where it's going. We might be able to go, aha. Where are we even? I thought by revealing some of the information as to what happens here, we can work out where we are. And try and go, okay, this will be ideal for this storyline. Or whatever. All I know is it's a long one. Should we reveal another one? I think another one for context. Okay, we meet someone, I guess. We can't do the whole column. Well, we can, but it spoils the fun. By using a MacGuffin, we encounter somebody. Maybe by translating the scroll, we can meet the person who we met through the portal? Mushroom Town? Maybe? I guess, yeah, it's a friendly location. We can meet the Mushroom Elder. By speaking their tongue. I don't know. As if Gil doesn't know that. I don't know. We'll have a think. Have a think. I'll stick these up. What's it? MacGuffin use and char meat. And then a whole bunch of caps. Boom. There we are. Meanwhile, in Blobtown, I'm using the wrong thing, that's why it's going a bit weird. I made a new pencil in Clip Studio because my hand was hurting, and I realized that the reason my hand was hurting was because I was pressing too hard trying to do line art with my pencil tool. So I thought, hey, why don't I just make a pencil that's harder? And then I don't have to press so hard. Because I'm clever like that. I independently discovered pencils of different hardness. Anyway, point being, I've been doing this with the inking pencil, if that makes any sense. And as a consequence, shading with it, not easy. Gil refuses to speak in their hometown. What's Gil's backstory? Maybe the Mushroom Elder knows something about the scroll, but we have to use the MacGuffin before we meet them. So... Or maybe the pendant draws us to them, because maybe they have another part of the scroll. Do you remember we used the pendant as like a dowsing thing? Don't know what Gil's backstory is, they're probably a post-room for a reason. Character development in my game? I had to reinstall Clip Studio and the default pencil with the update is very nice. Oh, nice. I downloaded one from the Widget Mawodget. What's it called? The Clip Studio art place where people share things. That's the official name. Yeah, and I've been using that for everything, which is nice. But I hear the default pencil is very good. I was following someone recently who said, yeah, I just use the default pencil in Clip Studio, and I use it for everything. So, nice. More pendant, more scroll, more translations. Widget my widget. Widget my widget. Yeah, I can imagine they left Shroomsville for to travel around for one reason or another. Something they're ashamed of, something they're running away from. Who even knows? I don't. But we'll find out together. They just sort of get smaller and smaller. Una Gil knows. Important question. Love this doodly music. This is more Adrian von Ziegler. Background. Is onion shorter than Mo? I imagine so. I imagine they're like... What's the instrument called? Doodlebag? Bagpipe? Which, now that I say it out loud, well, now that I think about the name of that instrument, it's a pretty bad name, isn't it? The bag with a pipe in it. We're gonna call it a bagpipe. I would have called it a pipe bag. The bag seems to be the thing that's doing most of the work. Completely understood what you meant and instantly forgot the word bagpipe. Oops has the ability to replace an existing word in the mind of other people. Onion is too... I like the idea. This is going to be a random aside. I like the idea that... Go back to the lining one. you remember when I used to have time to draw mushrooms in Mo's hat? Those were the days. What's causing these eyes to look vaguely terrifying? Doodle sack. Vote doodle sack. By the way, I'd just like to reinforce the fact that what I'm doing is absolutely not worth the amount of time that it's going to take to do it. Also, I've forgotten how to draw Mo. Sorry, Mo, you have been lost to the whims of the 500 other characters that I designed in between designing you and now. Issue with the bagpipes and such is Doodle Zack, with Doodle sounding like Doodle, and Zack being translated to bag. Cool. Doodle Sack. It's a bag of doots. Yeah, what was the... Like, hey, another short friend with a backpack. Have we actually met another mushroom character yet? In the story? Can't remember off the top of my head. That's it. That's the joke. Right. So, that now behind us. So what happens to wrap this place up before we go anywhere else? So we like, do we save? Do we rescue people from the factory? Do we, or do we just leave and we're like, we need to deal with this later because this is a bigger problem than we're capable of solving? Is this the first, like, 2-panel thing I've done in this draw through? It's a comic. Yeah, so what happens in the Resolute? Because we've arrived at the factory that we saw before that was kind of pseudo-abducting villages to work in it. We came across it. It's now abandoned and full of goop, and that goop may or may not be encasing people. We have the villain of Schrödinger, who's roller skating around trying to get us to fight goop, and we beat the big goop and may or may not get a robot friend. Onion. Couldn't ungoopify some people. Oh, we ungoopified some people, but we couldn't ungoopify all of them, so we leave them all in Schrödinger's untrustworthy hands. Yeah, we're running out of time to come back. You say that to the person who was ill at the beginning of the game. They waited like 15 streams to get actually healed. But they could have just gone to the pharmacist. Also, time might be convoluted here. Because this sort of popping in and out of reality, we don't know quite... I mean, firstly, we don't know what's going on. You like this place too much to not come back. That's cool. Maybe this is the location of the final battle. I don't know. That is to say, goop. Or do you mean you like this so much just so you can say the word goop? I think we physically have to come back more as like a place to keep in mind so that you know what you're fighting for. Yeah. This is something that we need to find. Fighting goop is not going to help the fact that this goop is here. Something else is causing the goop to be here. It's the beginning. It's Super Mario Sunshine, right? Like, you could just run around and clean everything up, but the thing that's making the goop needs to be stopped, right? They've inadvertently reinvented Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah. Okay, so we do that. I don't know what we do with Schrödinger. Maybe Schrödinger gets enveloped by goop. I don't know. It's like, well, we'll come back for you as well. Comes back in the ending cutscene when everyone ungoopifies and gangs up on Schrödinger. We're literally running out of columns for places. Yeah, we have 10? 9. We have 9 left. And one of them is the last area, so... Super Mario Sunshine and life lessons, God bless. Really wants to save those columns. Yeah, we have 9 places to go, and only one of them is new. No, sorry, only one of them is a returning place. The rest of them are new. So... Granted, we have considered the factory to not be a returning location, but partly because we never went in it before, and partly because it's now a different village. So it's fine. Right. Quickly, while I'm here... There is nothing on that layer. Lovely. Gonna grab that. Gonna open this. Gonna give Onion a little avatar. And with any luck, Yeah, there they are. They have joined the group. Hooray! I should probably put in here. This is onion. Optional character. Don't kill last phase. Cool. Right. So, insert Zelda music here. What, Groos's theme? Which I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know I like it. It's very silly. What's Groos's theme? How's that go? I'm just thinking of one of my own pieces of music. It's like, don't be egotistical. Come on. Are we going to Shroomtown or not? I don't know. Are we? Shroomtown makes sense, right? We go to Shroomtown. The amulet's like, oh, go this way. And then we meet Shroom Elder, who is surrounded by scrolls, who knows more about the backstory, hopefully. Maybe or maybe not. Want to see Shroom people? Let's go to Shroom Place. We have a lot of stuff we can do there, apparently. Who knows what terrors are going to befall Shroomtown? Okay. So just as a reminder, we have this was made before we started. Hi, Freeman, how you doing? This was made before. I think it was before we started the thing, the draw through. Some good chib art detailing this idea of the Shroom village. We get we get to Shroomtown and get 3 boss rushes. I feel like if I saw an arrangement of 3 boss rushes in one of these, I would have just immediately rejected it. So, unless I did my job very badly 20 weeks ago. Yeah. So this is Shroomton. You forgot you made Shroom. You made it. This is yours. I made this. Okay, so before we finish with the thing, how does perspective work? Why did I choose to draw this? With lava snakes. Lava snake. The Magma City. Wait, did Chip make Magma City? I thought that was yours. Sometimes my drawing skills really do astound me. I'll let you know when that happens next. Well, Mojo, I just want a thing of like them sort of closing the door on the way out, sort of like, hey, we didn't actually save this place. You know, just a kind of melancholy leaving. I don't use the word leaving. Melancholy exit of like, this is still something we need to sort of figure out. You know, there are people here. People here as yet unsaved. And maybe this is a chance for Mo to have a bit of a thing. You know, maybe you can't save everybody all the time, at least not yet. Sometimes you have to focus on other things. Because it ties back into the hallucination that she had before. Failure, not exactly failure, just like, you know, delayed success. But it's like, you know, what's the consequence of the delay? This is a terrible drawing. This is absolutely awful. Sure, Brad doesn't like this either. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna have Brad like touching Mo's shoulder there, but I just realised that would be like there. Just touch the hat. You know, over the last couple of days, I've made a lot of drawings for that new video very quickly. And evidently, I used up all of my ability to draw quickly well. So, nice to know where it's gone, though. This is an absolutely awful drawing. Also, you right now are a doodle you're fighting with. You said that about the piece of art that you posted today while you were doing it. And so, quite frankly, I can only believe you're wrong. Okay, it's a step up, but at the same time, like, you know, one of these is a meme. One of these was drawn deliberately quickly. It's like, oh, we gotta get this done. Same, you're figuring things out. Used up all your art juice on that drawing. Never expect art to be consistent. You can only do the best that you can do at that particular point in time. There's no point comparing what you're doing right now to things you've done before or things you could do in the future. It's just like, what's your ability now? Focus on that. Because that's all you can do. No control over it. Art is fickle. Anyway, we're going to the forest, I guess. What takes us? What brings us to the land of the mushrooms? Is there a reason we go there? You retract your statement on the new column taking 3 streams. At the rate we're going, it'll take at least 5. We haven't got there yet, it's fine. The MacGuffin, obviously, well, the MacGuffin happens, I guess the MacGuffin happens when we arrive. We find the place and then the MacGuffin reacts. I don't know, maybe we pass through it trying to get somewhere else? I don't know how we arrived at the village we just visited. Maybe we're here on other business? Gil got a message from a shroom messenger. Oh, I forgot about that, yes. So presumably they already were already on their way. And we just tagged along. Oh, it's someone taking their bins out. Sorry. Sound outside sounded like distant gunfire. I was like, what's going on? No, it's somebody pushing a wheelie bin along a cobbled street. It sounds surprisingly similar. And don't worry, when I say distant gunfire, it's not as terrifying as it sounds. We're near a clay pigeon shooting range. Yeah, okay. Shroom messenger. A message arrives. We arrive at the shroom place. The MacGuffin reacts when we enter the village because of the arcane aura of the Elder. And we meet Elder Shroom. Hey, same. Yay. I was gonna say, why do you know what gunfire sounds like? Yeah. Right. Taking out your bin sounds like gunfire, you're doing it wrong. We have big plastic wheelie bins. And weird pebbly concrete paths. Yay for distant gunfire. Oh, I don't even know what to draw. Okay, hang on, let me get inspiration from the good chip draws. Okay, so we got sort of like, I like the pulley buckets. Is that how we get up? I mean, there is the path going all the way around. I just like the idea of us going up in a bucket. I want to draw the amulet reacting before we get to the Elder. So it's like, oh, this is significant, because I guess that happens first. There's a pulley system, but also just the stairs. This is like the beginning of FF7. It's like you can choose to take the lift or the stairs, and the stairs take bloody ages. Remember that from the very first roll through we did? Stream 2, probably. Yeah, it was stream 2. There we are. It didn't. The stairs didn't go well. Neither did the elevator, actually. All in all, going up. It's a bad idea. The option of taking the stairs adds nothing to the game, but gives you a 3-hour cutscene of the gang climbing some stairs. Lift's broken, gotta take the stairs first time. You unlock it. you get to the bucket and it says, does not open from this side. Have you ever heard a horned shoebill clack its beak? It sounds terrifying. I have not. That sounds very interesting. We let Stoker use the bucket normally used for items because they small with no shoes. Okay, so we have... Let's do that. So we're... sort of... I was about to say a Jungle Canyon rope bridge. And I was like, why is that phrase in my head? And then I realised it's from a comedy routine by Stuart Lee. About the fact that he can't do observational comedy anymore because he has a kid, and so all he knows about is watching the same Scooby-Doo video over and over again. He does observational comedy about the Jungle Canyon rope bridges in Scooby-Doo. It sounds so stupid, because it is. Are those the big scary burbs that are actual babies IRL? I didn't know that. I didn't know they were they were pleasant. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my tedious takedown of or teardown, that's the word, of an otherwise humorous comedy routine. I hope you didn't enjoy it, because clearly if I wanted you to enjoy it, I would have just shared it. But I didn't, so nah. Screw you, you're not here to have fun. You're here to do homework. Gil, Onion, Jethro, Stoker, and Jaboa get to take the bucket because Gil's a shroom person. Onion and Jethro qualify as objects, and Stoker and Jaboa are too small for the stairs. I feel like Onion would just climb the side of the mushroom. Just its tracks just cling to the side of it, which goes all the way up. Terrifying in profile and goofy when looked straight on. They really enjoy the company of people and are very gentle beings. Oh. Honestly, you just want Brad to suffer having to climb these far too long stairs. It's also windy up here. Don't know if you looked at the drawing, but they wrap around the giant mushroom several times. Yes. Onion pulls out a grappling hook, fires up, and just rolls up the side. I feel like Onion is, like, oddly well prepared for everything that comes along. Maybe not so gently, reading about them and they eat crocodiles. Neat. But they are pretty chill around people, so yay. That's nice. First time we got up the stairs, it's a horrid gameplay thing where you have to balance the party members on these wonky, far too long stairs with wind blowing. The second time, it's a 3-hour-long cutscene. Or is it like, maybe it's like Desert Bus, where the gameplay sequence is like 8 hours long. but only every now and then do you have to press like a quick time event to avoid a breaking plank. That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. That sounds like a crocodile problem. Let's get the pleasure of the torch room the whole way up, pointing out points of interest and going on about this being a time-honored tradition to ascend the great spiral path. The 7,000 steps. Halfway up, it says about the much quicker route through the shroom that they could have taken. Yes, we went the scenic route. It's for tourists. Speaking of which, holds out hand. "7,000 steps. I've definitely taken more than 7,000 steps. Yes, of course, it was misnamed. Our people had not yet learned how to count back in the day. It was the best guess. 7,000 was considered the largest possible number. Turns out there were more. That's not how thumbs work." It is 7,000, just in a different base. No, it's 7,000 for the giant stilt-legged mushrooms that first built this. Which includes the guide. I don't know how the hair on the back of Brad's head works. It's fine, don't worry about it. So you're obscuring the path for other tourists. There are no other tourists. Meanwhile, we zoom out. That's the ground. Classic pullback and reveal. Just want it to be known that no loaves were squished in the making of this melodrama. Also, yeah, Ragdoll's right. Where's Shroomguide's third leg? Do they all have 3 legs? Might as well for the sake of consistency. I imagine they're all based on sort of different mushrooms, so maybe they have different numbers of limbs. But hey, for the sake of consistency, why not? I missed that message, sorry. Just a very old couple walking up saying, oh, not another one. Kids these days are so soft. Back in my day, we used to run up these and surf in the Magma City bays, you know. Very rude question. Where's your third leg? Excuse me. No longer allowed to swim there. Some people just ruin the fun for everyone. You don't have burnable flesh. You cannot be killed in a way that matters. Hey. 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 I know this isn't 16 symbols related, but hey. More orbs. More collector. The collector, TM. The man stealer. Registered trademark. Hey. That pose, yeah. I mean, just like... Before today, I never would have thought the possibility of Oobs, of all people, being really good at poses. It's just... What were the chances? Colette the Collector. No, and Schubels. Schubels by Christie. This is happening just to the right of Mrs. Drawing from yesterday. Or was it today? I can't remember. Brain doesn't work. Certainly not one of your fortes, that's for sure. Never. I never would have guessed. Cool, and then we get to the Elder Shroom. We must now design an Elder Shroom. What's a good mushroom? Maybe they have lots of different sort of mushrooms coming out of them. They're sort of old and lots of... little buds. A little bit like the what was it called? The fungus snail. The Elder Shroom sounds like a parody of the Elder Scrolls. It does a bit. Good Shubel taking a swim. We've got wibbly wobbly eyes. Start with the basis, see where it goes. How can we make this more interesting? They glow with bioluminescence because they are so wise. Well, we ascertained that Gil glows in the dark, so little droop on their eye makes it seem like they're crying. I mean, there might be. We don't know what's happening here yet. Oh. Ooh. Pretty mushrooms. I want to do something with the whole piercing thing. That was the thing about Gil's design that I liked so much. The idea of having things sort of angling down. I feel like that can be sort of something going on there. There's like a sort of Skill is also very wise. He knows many addresses. Framer, stop it! Stop it. Wisdom is mostly don't get into other people's business, but it's good wisdom. Any piece of wisdom counts as inner luminescence. Really is the fungus that... Snungus, that's what it was called, Snungus. Maybe your character can make a remark of that description, and they're like, how dare you? Do you think we all look alike? We would never take over a poor innocent snail. Cut to giant snail being used as transportation. Growths? Are those his children? Who knows? I sure don't. I can't keep using that as an excuse, can I? Yeah, I did make a fancier Frame Man emote, but it was too fancy, and it wasn't clear what it was, so... So we're stuck with the old one. Turns out I need a lot of practice in making emotes readable. Not easy to do. Frame Man is a fancy boy. Insert the existential dread parsnip frame here. I can make this more interesting, but I don't know how just yet. This is the Elder's room. And I will go off and have a think about it. He needs them pixels. He feeds on the pixels. Give the Elder's room a t-shirt that says yes. Yeah. We'll come back to this. Apparently a way you're making sure people interesting. Yeah. Cool. Speaking of yes, I can think of a better design than this in a week. That's my homework, as well as updating the website, which is in severe need of progress. But since we're, making so little progress on streams, it all balances out. Yeah. Well, we're up to 9 characters now. We have exceeded the character count for... Are there 9 people in Final Fantasy VII? I don't think so. I think there are 8. Yes, flips the middle finger. Did I save that? No, I'm not even in the right folder now. I won't bother looking for it. Right. It was good though. Chib did many shrooms. No, hang on, that's not right. Chib drew many shrooms. No wonder your internal organs are exploding. Cool. That will be... Let's have a think. Let's have a think. Maybe it's worth revealing the next symbol just to see if we can have a think about where this is going. Yeah, there's one more symbol, and that will be our thought for the week. What important boss are we going to fight immediately after meeting the shroom? Do we fight the shroom? Is there do we fight the infection that the shroom is encountering? That doesn't sound important. It would have to be a character who is really important to the plot, and or a character we've already met. I don't know. Next symbol? That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. Plot important boss. Plot significant boss. Boom. There it is. It's suspense. Yes, YouTube. Keep playing music. Thank you. And that's that. Also, I spelled goop wrong in the scroll. Marvellous. Well, thank you for coming along. Thank you for pet cop. Nothing wrong with the pet cop. Yeah, thanks for being here and having chit chats and dealing with me not drawing anything useful for the purposes of moving the story along.
Unsubscribes.
No, that will put me in -1 subscribers. Yeah. Thank you for Petscop. The Transylvania Petscop. That was a weird cartoon. Yes. So more 16 symbols next week, where we work out what's going on with the mushroom peoples. What's happening here? Why is there a very important boss? I can't remember what the last plot important bosses were. I'm looking at the thing at the moment. The last one was Chibi's villain. Because obviously that's a character that returned and will probably return later. Maybe now, who knows? The one before that would be... Oh, the one before that was Mo fighting the poison nurse hallucination. And the one before that, I think, was the poison nurse. So, they're the ones we've had so far. Christie's villain? What did I say? Brand's not fighting everyone. Oh, did I say Chibi? I meant Christie, sorry. Apologies, Christie. Brain failure. It's fine. My organs are exploding now, and it's the brain primarily. Yeah. So it's a thing. We must decipher. What do these runes mean? The answer, it turns out, was in us all along. Blood. That's what they mean. No. Yeah. Thanks for coming along. Tomorrow, Switchy Switch, is not Man Rent. As says there, it's probably more Sekiro. I believe, unless there's something I'm missing. What am I talking about? I don't know, my brain is exploded. It's fine. Yeah, so more Sekiro Wednesday, probably finish it tomorrow. Shoe bill on sticker? There was a shoe bill on the stickers, actually, yeah. Well, it was a... Actually, did I? Did I include that one? I made a shoe bill samurai, didn't I? I don't know whether that ended up on the stickers. Is it on the Cool Birds or whatever it was? Oh, it did, yeah, it did make it on there. That was January of last year. Sorry, just hop over. There it was. I forgot about the kiwi as well. Number 1 kiwi. Anyway, enough of that. Saw it on screen. Yeah. That reminds me, I need to put something up on my shop to tell people, hey, if you're in the EU, don't buy from here because I can't send it to you. Unless you're willing to pay for the VAT yourself, which is a massive pain in the ass. Best Barbs. Yeah, thank you for coming along. Sekiro tomorrow, Saturday. Either continuation of Sekiro or something else. Oh, by the way, that was something I was thinking of. Trying to think of like games to do together, and I know we wanted to do Don't Starve again at some point. But I was thinking of other ideas. And there was, I think a while ago, people were talking about maybe playing Dark Souls 3 together. And the idea of, for non-violent season, I would be like a support, like a healer, miracle build. and everyone else would do the fighting, and I'm just running around trying to heal. But there was also, I found out recently, well, I knew there were these things called multi-world randomizers, which randomizes a game, but it randomizes multiple people's games so that other people's items can end up in your game, and you unlock it for them by picking it up in your world. And there are a few of those, so it's like a multiplayer randomizer thing, basically, cooperatively. And because it's running around trying not to backseat game. No, don't do this, don't do this. You gotta dodge forwards for that attack. That's right, Dark Souls 3 I'm not as familiar with. Sounded harsh and meant it as a goof. No, it's perfectly understandable. Yeah, so there's multi-world randomizers, and there's one for, like, Link to the Past, because of course there is. There's some for Metroid and stuff, but I found out recently there's also one for Hollow Knight, which is a game I wanted to play again. It's been a while. I don't know whether that will be fun. I know some people really like Hollow Knight. You know, all you do is screw up on purpose. Whatever's entertaining, it's all a good time. Particularly if you start by saying, I'm going to screw up on purpose. And then that way, it's win-win. You're either right, or wrong and we succeed. Hooray. Managing expectations. It's great. It's the optimistic pessimist scenario. If you assume the worst, you're either right or happily wrong. Yeah, so there's possibilities for things that we could do in the future for multiplayer games and stuff. Can't tell me anything, it's all on purpose. You're not bad at games. No. It's just like, you know, you're so good you've got to deliberately sort of handicap yourself. Just to, you know, it's like golf. You've got to introduce that handicap, otherwise it's no fun. There's no competition. Yeah, so that's happening. Maybe, at some point. I don't know. Possibilities to throw out and see if anyone's interested. See what sticks. Spaghetti on the wall. Yes. And then on Sunday, probably some stuff with wikis. And or other drawing challenges that we keep saying we're going to do and never do because wikis. Yeah. I need to stop talking now. So have a grand old time, everyone. Thank you very much for being here and having chit-chats and inventing new femme fatale collective villains, and helping design Onion as well. That's the takeaway from this stream. We got Onion, hooray! We need to do different drawing challenges so we don't run out of wikis too soon. That is fair. That is fair. I've already repeated one, so yeah. So Onion and Manstealer. What a double act. Thing Stealer and Man Stealer. Scrap Stealer and Man Stealer. Have a grand old time, everyone. Hope you have a lovely week. New video out for non-patrons tomorrow. New video out already for patrons. And I'll stick it up on Patreon tomorrow. I'll do an update. And yeah. Stuff. Have a grand old time. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Have a good week. Goodbye.